and I just was wanting something a little bit fluffier. I am about to just lay on the bed for a while. It's honestly probably a week later. I have had a really hard, busy week. I feel like I have started this vlog so many times over the past few weeks and it has just not been a good week for me to do it. So I'm gonna do like a 2-day reading vlog. I want to talk about some of the books I've been reading pretty briefly and I'll probably do that later. But for now, I have about 75 pages left in Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I want to finish this maybe in the next hour and then I will pick up my next book and I'm gonna take you along for that. I typically don't read contemporary romance. It is not my favorite genre. I have moods and moments where I gravitate towards it, and this past week was really difficult and I needed something fluffy to escape into where I didn't really have to use my brain very much. So I decided to pick this up. It is really cute. I am enjoying it and I don't regret reading it. You're not going to see me read a ton of romance on this channel, but every now and then I will pick it up and I've enjoyed this one. So I'm going to read this and finish this today, and then I need to figure out what I'm going to read next. Today is Sunday. I'm trying to stay off my phone as much as I can. Tomorrow I have a couple of plans to get coffee with people and get some groceries, and then on Tuesday I actually am starting a new job where I will be working part-time, basically like a nanny, for 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have no idea what reading is going to be like during those days. It's going to probably take a while for me to get used to his schedule, for him to get used to my schedule, but all that to say, I want to just vlog my reading the next couple of days because I feel like I'm finally in a good rhythm. I feel excited about reading again, and I just want to talk about books because it makes me happy. Welcome to this reading vlog. Hope you enjoy. Okay, I finished this last night. It ended up not being within that hour. I just needed to rest and I watched some Downton Abbey in addition to reading this, and you can probably hear the bird outside my window, but that's okay. Anyway, finished this. I'm rating it 3 stars. It was a good, quick escape book where I didn't have to use too much of my brain, and there were some things I didn't particularly love about it, but I wasn't really going into it thinking that it was going to be a 5-star. It was just kind of like a palate cleanser, so it did what I wanted it to do for me, and I would recommend it as a cute romance. But if you're somebody that doesn't typically read spice like I do, there's a good bit of spice in here that I kind of needed to skim over just as a warning, but otherwise it was really cute. I would recommend it as a romance. So I need to figure out what I am going to start today. I am starting my new job tomorrow, but today I have a lot of things I need to do. I've got a lot of chores and things that I need to do in preparation for being out of the house the next couple of days. I am meeting a friend for coffee this morning, so we'll see if I even get to that, but I'll show you what I'm thinking I'm going to pick up next. Hello, it is Thursday evening. I have worked 3 days at my first week of this part-time nannying gig that I'm doing, and it has been a hard but also really good week. I feel so much better today than I have the last few days as far as energy, and I finally slept well, so that makes a huge difference. But to be very honest with you, I don't remember the last thing I updated you on as far as my reading goes. I think that I said I was going to try Shannoville, and it is not sticking. I tried reading it, couldn't really get into it. I'm probably going to try it another time, but just for now, it is not for me. I decided to pick up We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. This is the same author that wrote the Thursday Murder Club series that I love. The Thursday Murder Club series follows a group of retired people that live in a retirement community in London, and one of their activities is the Thursday Murder Club, where they talk about cold cases and stuff until one day a real murder happens that they have to solve. And it is always a really fun cast of characters, but he wrote 4 books. He's taking a pause on it, and now he started this new series, and I'm about 50 pages in and I'm really loving it. I have missed Richard Osman's writing. It feels so much like a classic, but also lighthearted and kind of easy to read at the end of long days, but at the same time genuine, real characters, a real plot that is actually interesting and not just your cookie cutter murder mystery. So I'm excited to be reading it, and I'm gonna just relax this evening and see how much reading I can get done. It's the next day and I am enjoying a quiet-ish morning. We're preparing for tornado weather and we don't have a basement. Weather coming tonight, which I think is going to end up being fine, but tomorrow is supposed to be really bad tornado weather. So we're going to my in-laws tomorrow because they have a basement, and we're just kind of gonna hang out all day, probably spend the night and chill out, and I'm definitely planning on doing lots of reading. But I wanted to tell you what We Solve Murders is about really quick because I realized I never did that. It is following a girl called Amy Wheeler, who is a private security person, and her father-in-law is an ex-cop, ex-detective, I guess. He is older, retired, lives in a little English village, and she is currently located on a remote island in South Carolina, being the bodyguard for a famous author who has had some threats going on. And each chapter we're also getting perspectives of different people, including some bad guys, and it's really just super fun. I think that if you enjoy the book, what is it called? Finley Donovan is killing it. I think if you enjoy the vibes of that, where there's something crazy going on, it kind of has a ridiculous like humor to it. It's also a little more serious than Finley Donovan, but it's the same general premise, and I'm just really loving it. It is grabbing my attention, it is keeping me interested, and I'm actually about to go try to read a little bit. I've been doing some laundry and things around the house to prepare for this weather we have going on, but just wanted to check in and say hi. My husband is about to get home with Chick-fil-A. We have been doing leftovers for lunch, but last night dinner was a fail, so we don't have any leftovers, and I'm really excited to eat that while I watch an episode of Downton Abbey because I have been rewatching it and I have loved it. It's like my 5th or 6th time rewatching it, and I also... He's home now, but I am gonna challenge myself to read like 75 to 100 pages of this today, and I think I'll check in like every 20-30 pages or so just to keep myself accountable. It is sometime later. I literally don't remember the last time I updated you. It has been a very busy, hectic couple of weeks, and I am still reading We Solve Murders. We'll talk about that in a minute. I have a mini book haul. I brought a bunch of books into local used bookstore and got store credit, so I had a free little shopping trip. And the first thing that I picked up was a vintage children's book for like $2. I have been collecting these kind of as I find them for our children one day, And this is it. It's called Playtime Surprises. Each page has a little story and this thing, I don't know what it's called, but it's like sliding art, and it is very beautiful. I love all the art in here. I just think it is really fun. And then I got 2 historical fiction because of course I love historical fiction. The first one I picked up is Salt of the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. I need to figure out how to say her name because I feel like I say it different every single time, but I recently read Between Shades of Grey by this author and loved it, and it kind of scratched that fast-paced thriller type of feeling for me because the chapters are super short. I was like flying through the pages. It was keeping me on my toes, and I want to read more from this author. So I picked this up. This was $5. And then the next one I picked up I have never heard before. This author wrote the book called The Personal Librarian or something like that. I'll put a picture on the screen. She co-wrote it with somebody else, but I've never read anything from her. This is called Lady Clementine. It's about Winston Churchill's wife. I'm assuming there's going to be some historically accurate facts in here because typically that's what happens with historical fiction, but I have no idea. All I know is that this is a novel and it just sounded very intriguing to me, and so I picked it up. So that is my little book haul. Now for today, I've been working the last 3 days. I'm off today. Tomorrow I'm off too. Tomorrow's Saturday, but we're going to our friend's house that live like an hour away. They just had a baby. We're gonna go and have lunch with them and just hang out with them and their kids, and it's gonna be really fun. Then Sunday we've got busy stuff, and Monday I'm actually working. I typically do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but next week is spring break, and I'm only working on Monday because the mom has some appointments she needs to go to. All that to say, today is my day to kind of chill and just do things that I want to do at home. I need to fold some laundry, but I really want to prioritize resting, and so I'm gonna try to finish We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. I have, let's see, I'm on page 288 and there are 281 pages, so I've got about 90 pages left. It is picking up the pace. I, to this moment, still have zero idea what's going on. I have some suspicions of things, but I love that the author is kind of keeping me on my toes the whole time. This book is a lot more fast-paced compared to the Thursday Murder Club, in my opinion. It kind of starts out like stuff happening and again keeps me on my toes, and I'm flipping the pages and I am loving it. He has a way of writing a mystery that is Agatha Christie style, where you have zero idea what's going on, but also creating such endearing characters. And I need to go back and underline some things, but I dog-eared a few pages because there were some quotes that were just so good, and I love that. I love that he can put all of that in here and it works somehow. One of the blurbs on the back of the book described it perfectly, so I'm going to read it to you. This is about a Thursday Murder Club, but it pertains to just his writing style. It says, hey.
What kind of apples are those? $5. Hang on, I'm getting another call.
Okay, bye.
Alright, bye. Wait, never mind.
Who was it?
It was a 1-800 phone number that I've never seen before.
Okay. I just realized that I don't think I've given a clear synopsis of We Solve Murders, which I'm going to do very briefly. We're following Amy Wheeler and Steve Wheeler. Amy is the daughter-in-law of Steve Wheeler. Amy is a personal bodyguard. Steve is an ex-cop, and through a series of very unfortunate events, both of them get tangled up into a worldwide world tour of murders and figuring out who is behind them all. And it is very fast-paced, and the whole time someone is after Amy trying to kill her. So that is what the book is about, and I am very excited to see what is going to happen because, like I said earlier, I have no idea other than my suspicions on one thing, which I'm not going to say obviously because it's a spoiler. I am so excited to see how this is going to end, and I already want him to write more books in this series. All right, it is the next morning. I finished We Solve Murders last night in bed, and I loved it so much. I am rating it 4 stars. It had potential to be 5, but the only reason I knocked off a star is because there were a lot of characters that I had a hard time keeping up with, like remembering how they were connected to our main characters who were actually trying to solve things. I also could have had a hard time keeping up with the characters because of my own fault, not the author's fault. I took almost 2 weeks to read this book, and I feel like if I had a weekend or a couple of days to just sit and binge it out, where I was reading it all kind of at the same time, it probably wouldn't have been as hard for me to keep up with the characters. So don't let that deter you. That's just my experience, and I'm 100% willing to admit that it was probably my own fault based on how I had to pace my reading. But other than that, I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it if you didn't love the Thursday Murder Club, because it's a bit more fast-paced, more action-packed than the Thursday Murder Club, in my opinion, and it was a bit more gripping. I feel like Thursday Murder Club offers a bit more character study on each person, and you do get some in-depth characters, but not as much as Thursday Murder Club, at least so far in this series. I know he's going to write more of the series. I really loved it. It was a fun time. I was telling a friend that I think only 1 or 2 of his books I've rated 5 stars, so they're not all 5 stars, but I will buy all of them because I always have a good time. He always writes something pretty unique compared to what is put out there as far as wanting a mystery to read, and I just really love his style so much. I have never seen it like that anywhere else. So that is my review. I'm gonna end this vlog here. We are going to our friend's house today. They just had a baby about a week-ish ago. I need to make some bagels really quick. Well, I made the dough last night. I need to actually form them and cook them. And we're gonna spend the day with them, and it's gonna be a really fun day. So I will take you along in the next video as I pick out what I'm reading next, and I can't wait to talk about more books with you. I hope that you'll have a good one. Bye, friends.